Right guys, here we go. Mixed up my little blue right there. Where's the camera? There it is, over there. Masked all this up, all the places I want to cover. Well, keep brown, and I'm just going to blanket the whole thing in this blue, this blue-grey. Let's see how it goes. Now, first thing I'm going to do is spray in the sun here next to some of this grey to see just how much of a difference they are. And I'm hoping they are quite a difference. Oh yes, that's nice. Judging by how well this is covering, I'm either going to use the entire tin of paint or I need to move the needle back just a tad. It's a cheat I use, but you know, it just makes things go a lot better. But anyway, so I'll get back to painting this and get back here. Right, hi guys, here we are back. It's about 6-7 hours later. I put this out in the sun, not so much to dry, it's for the UV to bake the paint a bit. Now, I fully expect this to look reasonably good in some areas and reasonably bad in others. And the bad areas are sort of like the edges, for want of a better term, because you're looking at it side on. It's a thing in art. It's called edge laziness. At the edge of paintings, you'll often see very poor brush strokes, apparently. And it's just, for me, because I'm looking at the side all the time, and I rarely get to look at the top or the bottom. But let's start pulling stuff off, because I'm going to have to mask this to paint other bits, so I'm not worried about taking this off. It looks terrible now too, because the wear and tear isn't even all over the thing. Okay, let me have a close look at this, see if I've missed any pieces. Okay guys, back again. It's a few hours after I've pulled off this tape and I've had a look at this and had a think. And obviously there's some areas where the coverage of the camo isn't full. A few spots. There's some areas where the white isn't as white as it should be. In fact, it's pretty grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off, like this area here, tape off a big section of it, spray down some white. When that's perfectly dry, mask half of it, then spray a bit of the poo brown, just to get another little block up there somewhere. Maybe put it off center here or something, just to get rid of this straight line. I'll even probably just get the original base blue that I just sprayed on everything, and maybe put a block in there and a block over here just to break up this almost horizontal line across the top. That's about the only place I'm not very happy with it. The rest of it's pretty good all over the place. A couple of places I've put tiny little thin pieces of tape. So I could probably, you know, just put an extra bit on some of these other ones and just extend it out a bit. The problem is, wherever I put paint over the grey, I'm going to have to white undercoat, so it will pop out. There's no getting over it, because if I paint white over the blue-grey, I'm not going to have the same tone of white. So I'm going to mask all those bits and pieces off and get to that. Hi guys, Andy Work here. Okay, just back again, another night of painting bits and pieces. So I would have put a blue square there, I've put some brown there, I've extended this brown up, need to neaten it up a bit. Couple of places I've got to put some light grey, but I haven't got any mixed up at the moment, and I think my white paint's dead. So yes, we're getting there. I'm still debating whether to put a series of even smaller squares and L shapes, like I've got the plotter, I can cut it out of masking film, and with the same colours, just overlay it even more. It might work. I've still got to work out that, yeah, those little shapes will work down here at its top, because I've still got to work out this, but I'm more than likely going to paint that, the foregrip, and the cheek rest in some sort of buff colour, I think, just to, you know, give it a little bit of more contrast and represent plastic or something. And then there's all the wearing and the weathering and stuff. And then I'll do the some stenciling on it. But yeah, Hi guys, Andy Work back. As you can tell from the lighting, it's night. Now, I was going to set this up, then film this little bit and let you know what I was doing, but of course I forgot the filming part and got started. So what I've done, I've used my plotter to print a couple of little shapes, a square, rectangle, and L shape, inside a little square. And then I've stuck them all over the place just to fill it out, and I've marked each one that I want different colours so I know what I'm doing. I've undercoated them, all of them white. So I've got grey already mixed up, and I've just got to pick out the other ones I'm going to do in grey. Probably that one, because that's already on white, and that one in grey as well. So, and then a few of them are going to be brown. So let's just finish off. Yeah, that one was, that's going to be brown, that one. So get back to you when I'm doing the brown. Right, hi guys, back again, and I've done it again. I went and did the spray painting and didn't even turn on the camera. So anyway, we'll pull off the little stencils. I'll keep them because I have to do the other side. So, as you can see, the difference in the colour between the browns with the heavy white underneath it is a bit noticeable. A few too many whites in this area, so I'm probably going to have to overspray some, do a blue in there or something, maybe one there as well. But it does help break it up. Hi guys, Andy Work here, done it again. Put all the new templates on and sprayed it and everything, and didn't film a minute of it. Brilliant, eh? Yeah. So, there we go, with the actual base painting done. I've just added all these little fractured bits, little tiny little squares and stuff. And as you can see, I haven't done a very good job in a few spots. I mean, that's, you still see the white undercoat under that one there, but it doesn't matter. Once the wash goes over, it'll sort of tie it all together. It'll look all right. So, that's it. Now, I've still got to do the internals with the pusher that Rance gave me, and do all the wiring. That's pretty straightforward and easy. I'll get to that one day. Right guys, okay, here we go, assembled. So as you can see, I've put the foregrip on, the cheek rest and the magazine, painted them all the same just to give it a bit of uniformity, a bit of link. So this colour, this buff, will be on the hand grip here, on these which appear to be rubberized, I don't know. Then the Picatinny rail gets black, and then silver dry brushed, and then there was all the weathering and stuff. So just by quickly putting it together like this, it lets me see any areas that need attention paint wise, any areas that need attention less paint wise. Like this is quite easy to fit, but this is a bit tight up here, so I might need to do a bit of sanding before I do the black, or even put this on first, paint this black, because this area is very easy. Slides are easy. So paint this black, slide that on, then do that. Don't know. We'll see how it goes. Of course, got to paint a few screws that are in there that are showing up. And then there's all the weathering and so on and so forth. Alright guys, hi. Anyway, back here with the big reveal. I masked this off and I painted, you know, these rubberized plastic bits and the Picatinny rails. Now, apologies if there's a lot of buzzing coming. The phone's right in front of the fluoro light. So let's take this off. Now bear in mind, still haven't done the weathering and the worn metal and the smoke and everything. This is just to get these colours on these pieces blocked out. And there we have it, finished to that stage. Doesn't look too bad. Right, now next thing is to go back and add the wear and tear on the areas that haven't got it. Now the problem I've got is this wear and tear is the dark metallic. So I either got to use paint with a brush, which really disheartens me, or the only markers I've got are silvers. A marker that's got the dark metallic colour in it and do it then. Now, with weathering and everything, you can get away with doing the black wash and then the weathering and then you do, you get away with doing the black wash and then the wear and tear with the marker, whatever colour you choose to use. But then when you get to the soot and smoke, it's sort of a balancing act of what the soot and smoke covers up and what it doesn't, if that makes sense. Soot and smoke will be mainly concentrated around, of course, the muzzle, areas where there are vents, openings in the gun body, that sort of thing. So it's sort of, I found I'm actually doing soot and smoke, doing a bit of weathering, doing soot and smoke, doing a bit of weathering, you know, wearing, you know, the metallics. It's that sort of thing. So I can do the black wash now, which I will do. I've still got to do the internals in that of this, the Wolf, what's it called? Where did it go? This thing. That's the little, that's the pusher that Rance sent me. So that goes in there. It's a little spring-loaded thing. It's got a little motor that I've already got that pushes that out and brings it back in. I've got resistors and stuff and switches he suggested, so that'll go about there. If I have to cut a hole in the butt, not a great problem. But I think I've actually already modified it inside to make it fit. It's been a long time since I started this. So that's just another day's work to sort out. But I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. I'm going to get the actual finished thing holding together so it's not moving apart. So it means a couple more screws. I mean, the wear and tear on the black is easy. That's just the metal thing. I've still got to do the lenses for this, and I've got 2 resin printers and both of them are down at the moment, so I can't do anything there. So I'll do the black wash and go from there. Alright, back soon. Yes, let me explain indeed. I've stuffed up so many times on this movie, guys. I've had a lot on my mind. Now, what I've got here is an image of the beauty loaded on my painting table before I put the weathering on. And when I was about to do it with the brush and everything, I realised I didn't have enough, nowhere near enough. So in order to proceed, I decided to give it a shot and put it through my airbrush. And the wash was sprayed on and wiped off. That way a lot less of the black went on, but it was wiped off just the same way as I normally do. And I think it actually worked out really well. It's given me a much more subtler, dirty weathering look, if that's the way to term it. I have in the past been a little slapdash with my black washes, and especially getting the 50-50 ratio of black wash to thinner. This time I had to do it to go through the airbrush, and by comparison, if you see this ECS 11 I did for Matt over East, this is before it was given to black wash. It's all pristine and nice and clean, and the weathering and the wear's done. And then after black wash goes on, you can see how heavy it is, even under the smoke and soot. There are some areas that are really, really deeply ingrained, and that's not a bad thing. If I wanted a heavily weathered blaster, yeah, that works. But I think it's just it was just, you know, a happy accident. We got this sort of exactly the same technique, but putting on in different ways gave us a really different result, or gave me a really different result. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know. And again, sorry for keep messing up. I'll get onto the wiring next. Okay guys, sorry, I won't be getting on with the wiring in the next video. In fact, this will be the last video for this blaster. I've got too much else to do. I will get around to finishing it in the future. It just needs the sight lenses printed, some weathering on that, and some wear and tear, and wiring up with the internal push and all that sort of thing, but I'll get onto that later. The next video I'll be uploading will be Show Me the Modded Thing, the next episode. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. And then the next video after that will be the first of the series on Rance's 727 Mark II. which I've posted a few little shorts about. That's coming along nicely. But I will see you then, and happy modding. See ya.